Mama told me don't wait on miracles. Don't give them reason to come for your soul. Don't bow for nobody, nobody can get you at all. You know you got it if you want it all. Mama told me don't wait on miracles.
Hello everybody, how you guys doing today? This is the AVM superhero and we have another Death Taught Us How to Live, but this is a little bit different. This is a rewind. We're going to talk to a person that was on the show in our previous episodes and try to see where they are today. So I'd like to just get an update of my past guests, and who else can I start off with one of my favorite guests. Her name is Trazana Staples. Trazana, how you doing today, sister?
I am divine, brother. How are you doing today?
I can't complain, can't complain. I'm loving the atmosphere, loving the weather, loving the time that we're in right now. We're back outside.
Back in spring.
Yeah, I love it. I love
it.
So,
my garden, so I'm happy.
In your garden and all that? Cool, cool.
Outside garden anyway, so I'm happy.
Okay. Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to know, as a stroke survivor, you know, we encounter a lot of people that are stroke survivors and they're depressed, they're not doing what they need to do. You know, I talked to you last year about how we actually moving forward within our life, and you coined the phrase a phoenix rising. You know, what has this phoenix done since the last time I talked to you?
Well, this phoenix, let's see, this is 2022. Yeah. So this phoenix, in 2021, I was part of a collaboration of 7 women and 1 man in a book called Behind My Storm. And my section in this book is a prelude to my book that will be published later on this year. I'm in the process of editing it, but this book was about various storms in life that people go through. And my storm was my stroke. My storm was my stroke that came with aphasia. I always had a best friend. and how I am overcoming overcoming this life journey.
So let me ask you something, Tranzana. By doing this prelude and also doing your own book, what did that do for you, for your rehab and your psyche and your mental state?
It helped me to understand and see how far I have come from the stroke. And what I'm trying to do in this book is to paint a picture in the reader's mind of things that took place before, during, and after. And maybe it will help someone else to eliminate. For me, my stroke was caused because of stress. I had no underlying health conditions. So the stress that my daily life stress, I allowed it to build up, and it just went kaboom. So my book is called Phoenix Rising, the memoirs of my wellness stroke recovery journey.
See, I like that, Tranzana, because what you're telling me here is that I'm thinking I'm hearing that you was a certain type of person before your stroke, and by you getting back and writing this book, it brought you back to who that person was before your stroke, and also talking about, you know, your stress, you know, was a very big caveat for you to have a stroke in the first place. So you're telling people to find something that they are comfortable with and to get comfortable with it and move forward within their lives so they don't get this type of stress or stroke like you and I had. Am I right with that?
That's correct. Absolutely correct. We hear about things when people have stroke, but it's unfortunate we don't understand. And because a lot of information wasn't out there to try to avoid it. You can't avoid everything, but you can avoid some things. And for me, it was not protecting my peace, allowing things to eat at me that I got angry. I was so angry that it manifested. and the manifestation was a stroke. So I had to recall those. It was so hard to write the book because I used like the Dragon software because my right hand is still kind of weak to write a pen or type all the time. So I use Dragon software, but I was able to go back and listen to my video journal and hear what I was saying, how I was talking, when the stroke happened and occurred, before, during, and after. And I just put that into a memoir in terms of what I was able to remember as and how I was able to overcome those things. And I'm still overcoming. I'm still rising.
But there's something that you said that I'd never heard of before. Dragon software, some kind of technology to help us people that has some type of ailments with our hands to actually type. What is that about?
Yes, it's the software. You download it into your computer, and it dictates. Because I think Microsoft has a dictation, but Microsoft's dictation sticks a lot. It doesn't understand a lot of things I say because of the aphasia. But Dragon comes very, very close to understanding what I'm saying. And then all I have to do is go back to make the corrections.
So let me get this straight. You said you wrote a book basically by dictating it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's a good thing, because a lot of people, they probably can't type anymore. And if you have this particular program that you recommend, and for people that have aphasia or writing difficulties, you can actually help them out with this Dragon software. That's pretty cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So Tranzana, what else? You said something else too that stuck to me, and I feel the same way as you. Like, a lot of people don't understand what a stroke is or the symptoms of a stroke. Have you done anything in the community to speak about what strokes is all about, or the symptoms of a stroke, and how to prevent strokes?
Well, we're in the pandemic, but I was fortunate to speak about the book Behind My Storm last May during Stroke Awareness Month, and my portion of the book on a local Cincinnati a talk show called Cincy Lifestyles, and I was able to speak on stroke awareness, stroke prevention, and aphasia, because Aphasia Month is right after Stroke Awareness Month.
It is.
And I do videos, weekly videos for the most part. And I put my information on all the social medias, on my website, because just like me, and just like you and others that are alike, the only way that we can educate the world is keep repeating, keep telling, and keep sharing.
Right. So I get that, and where can we find this particular clip that you actually have?
It's on my website. It's on TrazanaStaples.com. It's also on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. Trazana A.Staples Stroke Recovery Fund.
And if everybody is looking at this and you want to know more about this, I can actually put this information in the comments. Just click on those links below, and you can actually see these videos and also go to her website. And make sure that you like and subscribe this particular episode, because Tranzana is great and she has all this information for us. But Tranzana, you brought up something once again, and it's triggering inside my mind. And we're going to stay in that same type of category about explaining what a stroke is. I know you said you went on Cincy Live, but what about your old friends and people that don't know about strokes? What did you do for them? Did you do any type of interviews with them or anything like that?
Not any old friends. Most of the old friends are gone. Don't even, I don't hear from them. I try to reach out, but I don't know. It could be their lifestyle. I don't know. But I try to share my life in terms of my stroke and my recovery, getting better after a stroke. I try to have conversations because even the people that are closest to you, they really don't understand. They try to say they do understand, but as soon as there's a glitch in the communication, they don't understand anymore.
I kind of find out that people have their own perspectives on things, and people have different traumas that they're actually dealing with. So to bring on a completely new trauma and you being a different person than you was before, a lot of people don't know how to handle that, because you might have been that person that they came to for comfort. Now you're coming to them for comfort, and they don't understand how to do that. And I just learned how to forgive people. And I think that's the best remedy for us, because if we keep on stressing it, we could have another stroke and things of that nature. But speaking on stress relief, I know there's probably things that you still probably can't do that you was doing before. I don't know what they are. I'll allow you to explain that. But for those things that you can't do anymore, what are the things that you do now to actually alleviate some of that stress?
Believe it or not, there are very few things that I cannot do now, like hiking and, skiing, stuff like that.
You ski?
Yeah, you ski, scuba dive, hike, camping. I haven't been camping. I probably still can camp, but I haven't tried it yet. Okay. Not by myself anyway. But for the most part, I still do my meditation, because I lacked on that prior to my stroke, but now it's daily. I get a daily reminder when I wake up in the morning to at least meditate. And I try to meditate throughout the day, because when I stopped meditating, because I was, life was going so fast, I didn't slow down, the stroke happened. So now the universe put me in a place that I have to slow down. So I meditate constantly, continuously, say my daily affirmations. I garden. I just put in my 2022 Phoenix Rising garden today. So that's why I'm because I did some things different this year. I listen to music, especially when I have those high stress times. My stroke left me impaired on my right side, and I'm still unable to drive at this point, but I'm going to drive, but I haven't been driving yet. And that's one of the downfalls amongst many, is that having to wait on others to transport me, and that irks me to no end.
No, I get that. I get that. A lot of times I have that same type of problem, because I live by myself. I think you live by yourself as well, and it's very hard to gain your independence and still have to rely on people to actually take care of you. I want to really tap into something that you said. Before, you didn't really have that constant thought of meditation. Now you're actually doing it each and every day. Now, for people that has not had a stroke or brain damage or TBI, why do you want to constantly do your meditation? What does that do for you? What would that do for anybody?
It just raises my vibrations and put me in a calmer place. Because prior to the stroke, Greg, my life was moving so fast, I wasn't steadfast in meditation, or wasn't steadfast in prayer. I'll do it later, and later never came.
Right.
But now I don't have a choice. It put me in a place that I have to. I don't have to, but it's put me in a place that my day will not go right if I don't slow down, slow my brain down, and just get away. It's good to get away, especially in your mind, because you don't have to worry about the outside world. And then it puts me in a calmer phase, if if I can say that word. I can't think of what I need to say right now, but puts me in a calmer place so that I can slow down and not rush, get my words out. And then if something pops up unexpected, something stresses me out, I started my day with calm, and I can continue to go on and not be so anxious when certain things pop up.
I like that, Trazana, because you brought up something pretty interesting. Before, I used to work for one of these Fortune 500 companies. I'm not going to say the name of it, but we used to have these deadlines, these projects that we had to do to make sure whatever that product they was actually producing was actually done properly and on time. But I would get sick and I would try to work through my sickness and things like that. And I'm like, why am I doing all this stuff? It's going to get done regardless. The company is going to still move on. The company is over 100 years old. So for me to go into work that day, it's not going to kill the company. Only thing could probably kill is myself. So now you're looking at all of that in hindsight. You're like, man, I wish I just took my time. So now you're saying you're slower, you're more purposeful because you have the stroke. So you have these things that you have to make sure that it's in proper unison. Your vibrations is right in order for you to move on with your day. I like that. So that's what you would recommend for other people to do to make sure they have their day aligned properly, is take some time for themselves and do some meditation?
Most definitely. Most definitely. A thing that I meditate, I listen to music, happy music, music that puts me in higher vibrations and frequencies, music that makes me laugh, music that makes me sing, and I can't sing anymore. But music is good for me to do. And then when I'm not really doing something, I got some coloring pencils, and I draw. I try to do something creative.
Yeah,
You know,
why not?
yeah. I
Why not?
draw, I read books, and especially I spend time with my grandkids. I'm thankful to be able to do that now. And they, actually, especially my two, I got seven, but but you know, the two youngest ones, they were born right at the stroke and right at the stroke and right after. But I would sit and watch them, how they walk and how they learn to talk. And that was therapy for me, because it was like I had a second chance to be a child again. Listening to nursery rhymes, singing nursery rhymes, and the joy that I don't have to manage an organization and I can spend time with my grandchildren. It's precious, because the only thing we have in life that we cannot get back is time.
Trazana, you saying something that really is profound, because that was the same thing for me. I was my grandniece was actually born right after I had my stroke, probably a couple of months afterwards. But I was watching her, and she was my motivation to getting up each and every day, because I was watching her try to talk, try to walk, do the same things. But it's very profound that we actually can look at children that way, because adults have these traumas, they have these things that they haven't dealt with, while children, they can scrape their knee, they get right back up, or they have a fight with their friends and they hugging each other 20 minutes later because they get rid of all that negative thoughts. While
Yes.
we as adults don't do that. So I found it very helpful, refreshing, therapeutic to actually be around my grandniece and actually learning from her to be an actual human being, not an adult, a human being. I think that's where we're missing right now. Am I right
Yes.
with that, or am I
You're
off?
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And children, like you said, they don't hold on to grudges.
Right.
They don't hold on to anger. And we should be like children at times. They're playful, they can be rambunctious as children can be, but so can adults. But children are resilient. They're like chameleons.
And not malicious either.
Exactly. They're not malicious. And I enjoy spending time with my grandchildren.
That's beautiful. So Tranzana, we're about at the end. Is anything that you want to leave for our audience and tell them that this Phoenix rising that you're talking about, you're preaching about, who you actually feel within your bones? Do you want to give them any inspiration to actually be that Phoenix to rise as well?
Well, yes. Thank you, Greg. Yeah. One of the things, I'm not going to say the thing, but one of the things are meeting people and loved ones such as yourself. You're Phoenix rising. You're inspiring to others. And that's inspiring me to give up, because my brother is doing this and I can do this too, and we can rise together. The second one is to protect your peace. Your brain is so powerful. This is not the end all. This is just a second coming. Your brain gets stronger every day, and never to give up. Continue to rise, regardless on what causes stroke, and just protect your peace, because at this time, you got to protect your peace. Don't allow the things that cause your stroke to have you have another stroke.
Well, Tranzana, thank you so much for coming on and giving us a recap of where you are, or update where you are in your life and your recovery. If you guys want to find anything else about Trazana Staples, I'll leave all of her information in the comments. I'm sure she will answer your questions if you ask her. She's a very lovely person. She will actually do anything for you. I call her my sister because she is my sister, and she does everything as a sister would do for her brother. So Tranzana, I thank you so much for being on Death Told Us How to Live Rewind. You have a great day, and I'll see you soon, sister.
Well, thank you, brother. Peace, love, and light.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Life is here to live, make use of it abundantly. But we don't know the hour or the day. Time is such a gift, try and control your destiny. We don't know the hour or the day. Unity is strength, they stand as one without delay. Cause no bad drive me a jam.